Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. So let's get started. My camera must be at a different spot because my card doesn't want to go where I used to put it. Okay. Card is mostly die cuts from the stamp set Pierce Blooms dies. I use this sentiment, always thinking of you, from Very Versailles. You could probably do the same technique with this leaf image instead of the fern that I used from Daisy Lane. Would probably work just as well. Okay, for cardstocks, I have a scrap of white. I think this is about 1 inch, but it doesn't have to be that wide. I have 3 pieces of 2-inch square, no, this is the mossy meadow, so these are 2 1/8 inch. Yep, 2 1/8 inch. I have a 2-inch strip of white because I found it easier to stamp the whole thing and then cut them into the 2-inch squares, and I only need 3 of them, so it's 2 by 6 inches. I have a piece of crumb cake, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and I am going to be running it through the Tasteful textile embossing folder. I have a piece of mossy meadow, which is 2 1/8 by 2 1/2, and my card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Now I just added this one. I didn't put that layer on this card, but I thought maybe it might need it, so I'm going to try it with this one. Okay. I already die cut all these out. I need 5 of these leaves. I cut 6 just because there's 2 of these dies, so I cut 6 of them. I need 3 of these. I don't know if you can see them. Let me pull it up farther. There you go. 3 of this die, 3 of this die, and then I die cut this one out 3 times, so there'll be 9 flowers. Okay. And this is so saffron. This is Bermuda Bay. And this is Pacific Point. This is the color combination that I used. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put these aside. I'm also using 2 different, I use holiday rhinestones and the metallic pearls. I'm going to set this all aside for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine, and I will be right back. Okay, see that nice texture on there? Okay, so that's going to go there. And let's go ahead and stamp this. The only ink I'm using is Mossy Meadow today. And what I'm going to do, I'm bringing in this fern. And again, that is from Daisy Lane. And I just stamped the whole thing. Turned it to get different aspects of it. Overlap some a little bit. It's just creating a texture and a interest on the back of this, on this card. Okay, now I'm going to cut this into 2-inch squares. use this. Two inches. 2 inches. Alright, I got my squares. Okay, while I'm at it, let's bring in the sentiment strip. Go ahead and stamp it. No, 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 no. Get down. Stamp that right in the center. Put that aside and let it dry. Okay, now let's build our flowers. I got mini dimensionals. I put one mini dimensional on the back of each one of these blue Pacific Point ones. Pop them in the center of my Bermuda Bay. Use the mini ones because it just worked better. Okay. Now, put these aside for a minute. Let's go ahead and adhere one of these stamped pieces to each one of these mossy meadow pieces. For that I'm going to use wet glue. You can use your snail that, or your seal, that would work, tape runner. There's just going to be a little bit of a border because this is just 1/8 of an inch larger. I had to take my camera down because somebody was being an imp and it must be moved just a little bit. I was afraid he was going to knock it over and break it. When I put it back up, I must have moved it just a little bit, and it's hard to stay in frame for some reason. I keep catching myself over here out of frame. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in these two pieces. I'm going to go ahead and mount this to the, which side do I want? I want that side, it's more textured. I'm going to mount this one to the mossy meadow. Add that extra layer on this one. Okay, this goes on the front of the card. Again, there's just going to be a little bit of a border. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that. Okay, now I'm going to take these and I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here a little bit higher. And I'm going to put one here. This one's going to get dimensionals on the back. Let's see if I can find them. Oops, these are the little ones, but that's alright. I'm going to just use what I have out. Work the same, they're just smaller. I'll pop those up. Okay. I need to glue these ones down first, don't I? Okay, so let's glue this one flat. It's going to go here. It's going to have about 1/4 of an inch around the side. This one's going to go a little bit lower. Just to try to keep that triangle of vision. And this one is going to go over here, a little bit more towards the right, like that. Okay, now I'm going to take these. I'm just use my thumbnail that you can bring in your bone folder. And we're just going to curl these up just a hair. I just find it easier just to do this. But if you don't have nails, the bone folder works. Okay, those are going to go there. We're going to put one set of leaves right here. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue in the center of this. Glue that down right there. Take this leaf, put some glue on the back of it. Stick this in there, underneath it. Okay, this one, I'm going to take one of these leaves and I'm going to take just one leaf because I want 3 leaves for this one. And I need one of the 2 leaves, so I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 leaves. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to turn that one a little bit. See how I did it? I moved it a little bit. Put that little glue in the underneath that one. A little glue on the back of this one. Glue dots would work too for this. Whoops. There we go. One more. This one's going to get a couple more leaves. This one's going to get one coming this way. It's going to get one coming this way. And I'm going to use that other leaf that I tore off right there. So let's go ahead and glue those down. Don't really want them sticking off the square. Okay, and this will get glued in the center. Like that. Just turn it till you like it. Now I'm going to bring in these little yellow ones. I'm going to put the yellow ones down. They're going to be like my glitters. Okay, go ahead and put a spot of glue on the back of them and glue them down. Probably the easiest way to do that would be to take the pick tool, pick it up, put a little spot of glue, set it back down. Come on. Please go where I want you. I want you to be able to tell that it's two different flowers. Alright, that'll have to work. One down here. Oops, stuck to my finger. Must be I have a little glue on my finger. Okay, so that's all we need the wet glue for. Okay, now we are going to take, oh, I need this still, the holiday rhinestones. I'm going to take one of these small blue ones, put it in the center of each one of these blue spots. And I'm going to take these silver pearls from the metallic pearls. I'm going to put one of those in the center of each one of those yellow flowers. One more. Okay. Now, the sentiment that we cut, I'm going to do a little bit of cutting on this, trimming. You could just cut a straight strip and put it across, that would look nice too. But what I thought to do was, I'm going to cut straight from this edge over to the sentiment. Then I'm going to start doing the bottom mostly straight, but occasionally we're going to do that little tail thing, and I'm just doing it by hand like this. If you're not comfortable with that, just draw your line with your pencil and then cut inside it. And then when you get here, you're going to go straight across like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the top. Go down here, just, and then go straight across. Okay, so there's our sentiment. So now I'm going to put dimensionals only on this side. I need the little ones for this one because it's very narrow. I'll use the edges of the dimensionals. Try to make it straight. I don't put any glue here. I just use this dimensionals. If you need to make a strip, you know, make them smaller. Use part of your edge. These ones are a little bit wide. I cut this one a little bit narrower. Must be than the other one. So I'm just going to trim those just a hair so they don't show. Take those backs off. I'm going to drape this across the flower here. It's this is the same width as the soft crumb cake layer. Make sure it's level. There you go. Now I'm going to bring in those pearls again. Now I'm going to put one on each end. And I think on this one I used a small one and a medium, but I don't have any more mediums, so I think the big ones would be too big, so I'll go ahead and use 2 small ones. Okay, there you go. There's the card we just made together. See all the texture in there? I love this card. Here's the one I did previously. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper. Hello, I just wanted to show you I did one card using this viney one from Very Versailles. So if you only have the Very Versailles, you could do the same card. Came out very nice. And this is the one I did with the fern, with the a little bit more bolder, but it came out very nice as well. I just wanted to show you. Okay, thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day and have a little bit of fun playing with some stamps and ink.